Oh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Studio W, your global radio network. We circle this thing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with some of the finest broadcasting you can find anywhere around the globe. And those of you who don't know how to find us, I know you're on Facebook right now, but I'm going to invite you to download that Apple app, and that is Studio .w or Studio W. Also, you can go to the website that is studiow.buzz, studiow.buzz. Available on Alexa, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Man, we're all over the place. Also, we have, Spotify. You can go to Spotify and type in Groove Swing Speaks. The same thing for YouTube and Facebook. So, hey, welcome to the set. I see my dear sister, Nakaya Watts. Hey, Nakaya.
How's
Hey,
it going?
hey, my sister, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm doing great, doing great. We've got Brother Ellis on with us. Some people call him Earthquake. Earthquake. Earthquake, are you there? He should be joining us. Oh, let's do something here. I probably need to unmute his mic. Earthquake? Okay. We lost him for a second. But anyway, Nikai, we've been going, I think this is our 52nd episode. 52nd episode. That's a whole year. And it's been amazing. We're getting more listeners by the week. And I invite everyone to tell your friends about this amazing show. What we do, we showcase professionals. I mean, just the best in our community. It could be anywhere from, okay, that is Dr. Mango. Hey, Dr. Mango, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Okay. Now, have you met Nikaya Watts? She's a swing sister of yours.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Hola.
Yes, yes, yes. And Dr. Mango, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her, and then we're going to see if we can reconnect with Earthquake, Ray Ellis Jr. So let's do this. Uh, Impressive. Speaking of impressive, Dr. Mango has an impressive resume. She is, well, let's do this.
Okay. Here.
Oh, Earthquake, hold on a second. I have two
All
swing
right.
sisters on with us, okay? Nikaya Watts and Dr. Cheryl E. Mango. Dr. Mango will be with us for a short period of time, but like I said, her resume is quite impressive. All right. Let's see. Cheryl E. Mango, PhD, Associate Professor of History, Coordinator of HBCU Studies Program, History and Philosophy Department, Founding Executive Director, National HBCU Studies Data Collection and Research Center, and a graduate of Virginia State University.
No, I'm not a graduate of Virginia State,
Oh, thanks. Thanks for correcting me. I
but I
want you.
am an HBCU grad. I'm a Grambling State.
Oh, you said Grambling?
Yes,
Oh, outstanding, outstanding.
yes,
Thanks for that correction. We like to disseminate the correct
that's
information. So
okay.
thank you for
I
that.
like VSU. I like working there.
Okay, okay. And my brother Clayton Brown, you know him.
Yeah,
He's out on assignment.
okay.
Brother Robert Hicks, he has a leadership meeting this afternoon, so he can't make it. So it's gonna be us. So tell us a little bit more about you, and also you have some Black history facts that you want to drop on us.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me just thank you all for this opportunity to be on, especially with my swing and groove family. Outside of the professional accomplishments that you mentioned, I think more about me. You heard the term HBCU a lot. I am the founding creator of the HBCU Studies academic discipline. In 2020, I created the nation's and world's first HBCU history course. And that turned into a full curriculum that people will soon be able to major in called HBCU Studies. We have a HBCU Studies program, the world's first at VSU. So it's interdisciplinary. We have HBCU history. We have courses on HBCU music, HBCU sports, full framework for HBCUs because we believe, or as I say, we have a model. We are the only set of institutions in the world to turn the formerly enslaved population into a thriving professional class. So whether or not you attended a HBCU, we are here as a result of HBCUs talking this way and having this freedom in the way that we have as a result of HBCU. So we have a model. And so I've created the HBCU Studies academic discipline as a result of that. But outside of that, I would just say I'm probably just I like to say a little country girl from Louisiana. So all that Louisiana represents, I represent that. The good and the bad. And so that's a little bit about me.
Outstanding. Okay. Hey, welcome to the set. Also, you have another swing sister with us also, and that is Sister Tanisha Holmes.
Hola. How are you
Yeah,
all
me-
doing? Good evening.
All right.
Meet Dr. Cheryl E. Mango. She's a swing sister
Okay.
as well.
Good.
Yeah. So,
Welcome.
is there anything that you'd like to share with us as far as history is concerned, Black history? You can go back as far as you like.
Well, you know, as I was thinking about what I would say today about Black History facts, I think it's important to realize in certain moments of time, I think it's important to realize the fact that we overlook, we usually say that history began in Africa. But, you know, that's a very serious fact, that to be the originators of humanity, to be the originators of political leadership, as our brother Earthquake is a political leader, that is very significant. And it's not just that humanity began in Africa, it's how long humanity was in Africa before humanity actually left the continent. As modern humans, that we were in Africa as modern humans. Any world history textbook, most of them are not written by Black people, but always starts in Africa. And it's so interesting because that is usually covers the longest period of time. And what we see there, okay, and what is that as modern humans, okay, we, for some reason, I don't know if you want to say God, if you want to say nature, this particular piece of land was selected, and nothing else in terms of human activity. And I'm not coming from a religious point of view. That's not what I'm coming. I'm coming from a purely scientific point of view. For some reason, nothing else was going on in terms of human activity in the entire globe for millions of years. It was no hominids that came out of Africa that led to eventual human Homo sapiens, our modern ancestors. It was nothing happening on that, nowhere. It was only happening on this piece of land. It could have happened anywhere. It could have happened on Mars. Humanity could have been created and birthed on Mars. It could have happened on Venus. It could have happened in China. It could have happened in America. It could have happened in Europe, but it did not. It happened on one piece of land. And the activity only went on on that piece of land for so long. So by the time that humans decided to leave Africa, they had been there as modern humans like me and you for almost 130,000 years.
Wow.
Okay, as modern humans. So in that time period, we developed, so we say this all the time, and we hear it, that we develop science, we develop math. That's been ingrained in us, but we need to reassess what that means to us. We need to reassess what that means. And we need to go back and look at how we were able to do that for such a long period of time. And we need to ask ourselves, why? How and why did nature, science, whatever, select that piece of land to put humanity on our backs, to carry humanity forward, to create other human beings? And I think that at a fundamental level, that is one of the most deepest historical acts that have ever taken place,
Mhm.
that we have evidence for. It does not require faith African history does not require, that's not a faith-based history. I know we can put faith-based history certain places, but I'm not talking about faith-based history. I'm talking about a real history that we need to reclaim and we need to understand. So, Brother Earthquake, as you are moving forward in your political leadership, I want you to realize that you come from a long lineage. You come from so many people would love to claim this, to be the creators of political leadership. And to make this work, our relationships had to be right. We got along with each other. To live there on this one landmass for 130,000 years before we even left, as modern, we got along with each other. We was able to create. We were innovative, and at that particular and this is not about a self-esteem. It's not about me pumping out. This actually happened. And it was other great civilizations outside of that is an extension of our lineage that we don't have to denigrate. But these things actually happen. I think that to be successful moving forward in what we do in our history, whether it be from politics, education, whatever it requires, we have to remember this. We have to remember that it was not. I hear somebody. I don't know if that's my son. But we have to remember that it was not that we didn't select that nature or whomever, science, God selected us to do this. So that's what I would say. Mandela, I'm in an interview right now. Okay, I'm so sorry. All right. So I think that's what I'll say. I knew when we said that this would be 7 o'clock, it would be difficult because my children would be coming in at this time.
I understand. Can you stick around for a couple of questions?
I have just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes. So I'm going to let Sister Nakaya. She always has a great question, and then Tanisha, and then another Earthquake. Real quick, Nakaya.
Whew. She bombarded me with so much history and knowledge. I'm trying to figure out which question should I ask first. Okay, you said you were a creator of an HBCU history course.
The first, the world's first.
Okay. What inspired you to create it, and what impacts do you hope that it will have upon students?
Well, coming from an institution like Grambling State University, my dad was in the NFL and played under the legendary football coach Eddie Robinson from Grambling. And I understood, and my mom went to Grambling. I just understood HBCUs at a very forensic level early on. They would tell me that we couldn't go anywhere else. Like, this was our only opportunity for you to have this solid middle-class life that you have. And I understood that my life was different from my cousins. When I would go visit them, they would come to our house and little things made them excited, like sodas and, like, oh, y'all got sodas. And I was like, yeah, we got sodas. Like, it was, I knew it was just a difference between my parents who was able to get an HBCU education and the life that we had, and my cousins who did not. And it really started to bother me that LSU, the way that it wasn't really the white response to LSU football, it was the Black response to LSU that really bothered me in Louisiana. That this school that would not even allow you in, that made your mama and your grandma walk through the back door, that now all of a sudden you wearing this, you ain't step foot on LSU campus, and you just the biggest LSU fan, and you looking down on Grambling and Southern, all the HBCUs. And I realized that it was that we had a responsibility to educate them on the history and legacy of HBCUs. I can't expect everybody to grow up with what I grew up with, understanding that. So it was important for me to put that in a curriculum format. And lastly, I would say, working as a faculty member at a HBCU, I understood that our students left HBCUs without a knowledge of their history of HBCUs. Most people don't know the history of HBCUs. We love them, and I'm not criticizing people for that. That's why I created the course, and and created HBCU studies. We love HBCUs, but we don't understand them at a systematic level. And that's because of our history. We weren't allowed to. Why is it that in 2020, I created the world's first HBCU history course? So what have we been studying in terms of history at HBCUs? That's the question. And why have we been studying that? And so I understood that it was necessary for us to systematically examine ourselves, that we had to have a self-study inside of our curriculum. And we see now today that curriculum is very politicized. I'm glad that I was able to be on the forefront of embedding courses that studied ourselves inside of our own curriculum. It sounds so simple, but it's so complicated because curriculum is very political.
And that is. And I think that when it comes to it being political, sometimes you have to be silenced or actually limited on the information that you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
What initiatives or projects are you currently working on to further educate and inspire the next generation when it comes to HBCU history?
Well, I have a number of exciting projects that I'm currently working on. I'm under contract with some of the largest companies, educational companies, to provide opportunities for learning about HBCUs. I work with organizations like the UNCF, United Negro College Fund. They have a task force around my work that I work with. I thank God, and I say that humbly. And my believe it or not, my real area is actually, I'm a presidential historian. My area is actually the American presidency at HBCUs. I believe I was the first scholar to write on that. I used to intern in the White House Initiative on HBCUs as a doctoral student, and I wrote my dissertation on that, and that's what my publications are on, the American presidency and HBCU. So right now, there have been a lot of requests that I'm fielding to try to understand the relationship between the American presidency and HBCUs going forward. I had no idea in 2016 when I did my dissertation on it that my field would take off to this degree, but it has. And so that's essentially a lot of my work, is trying to figure out the future of HBCUs and the relationship between the federal government and HBCUs, which is that's what my area is.
That's beautiful. I think that's amazing, because over here on the West Coast, we don't really have, HBCUs or anything like that. We maybe have a college that has predominantly Black students in it. And I think that's Charles Drew University, and it's a medical school. And actually, I think that's amazing that to have so many Black doctors coming into the field right now. And hopefully that, that actually expands out and we start having HBCU courses, so that way we can learn on the West Coast and actually spread that knowledge. Do you ever come across any pushback, any challenges? Has someone ever tried to silence you on your courses or anything that you're trying to give out as far as lessons?
I have not experienced that, and believe it or not, the majority of people that I work with at an HBCU are not, in my department, are not Black. But I have not experienced that. Now going forward, it's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, I'm an African American historian. That's what I teach at an HBCU. So it's a lot of uncertainties going forward. So I don't know what the future might look like.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not experienced that. I do have tenure, so in the academic world, that's like, a lifetime, supposedly to protect me and give me academic freedom to just say what I said today without fear of retribution. But who knows what the future of that might hold. So, but I have
that continues.
Yes,
absolutely.
So, but I have not experienced any pushback. I have found a lot of support for a deeper level of knowledge for HBCUs from all. I've worked with the state of Virginia, putting HBCUs in all middle school, all K through 12 textbooks. So I think HBCUs, it's not a topic that it's something that people tend to embrace, like on all sides. It's a very few people who are anti-HBCU voices.
Mhm.
It's people who like certain people never wanted integration, so they like HBCUs. They're like, sure, yeah, please,
Oh yeah.
the white schools.
Uh-huh.
Stay right
Yeah.
on over there.
Oh, yes.
And so, then you got the other extreme, that people who like the idea of diversity. So it's like, it's a topic that has worked well because it's a topic that people like. And I think it's because we've proven ourselves. We've existed since slavery. And we have a proven model. We have a proven apparatus that works across time, across space, across geography. And so people are curious about HBCUs and they like it.
Yeah. But Dr. Mango, thank you so much. Now, I want to remind everyone, Dr. Mango will be back for a whole hour next week. So out of respect for your time, Tanisha, I'm going to ask you to hold your questions until next week. All right.
We can ask one if she would like.
Well,
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to just say something real quick. So you say your cousins, they basically came from a household with Kool-Aid and grape Kool-Aid and red Kool-Aid is what you're saying, and didn't have sodas?
I was saying that metaphorically, like things that wasn't a big deal to me was a big deal to them. Like they be like, "Oh, y'all got sodas? Can I have sodas?" I was like, "Yeah, y'all can have a soda." Like it was nothing. Like we had cases. Like for them, maybe that got soda on. I'm from the deep. Now I'm from. I don't know. Are you in? Or what area are you in?
I'm in North Carolina.
Okay.
I'm going to the Dixie Trail. So
okay, I'm from the deep south, from a very impoverished community. So it might not seem like a big deal, but like certain things is a big deal. Like some where the way I grew up, you didn't drink your drink till after you got finished eating.
I agree. I was like that.
Push your drink back. It was like, and so to have unlimited sodas and cases of sodas, like that was I'm like, get as many sodas as you want. They like, what? Like, oh
my family's from Mississippi. I know what that's like. They taught me that.
So that was just one example, but it was so many things that wasn't a big deal to me, and I just knew it was a difference. And I knew when I went over their house, it was certain things I couldn't ask for that they didn't have, and I knew we was gonna drink out that fire hose, at that water hose out there. Everybody was gonna get the water hose and drink out of that. But we had fun, we played and all of that, but it was just a different dynamic. And my point was that the only difference was that my parents got an HBCU education.
And that makes sense.
That was the only difference, was that that my parents' HBCU education had provided just a little bit more for us.
And that makes sense.
So I knew I was indebted to them HBCUs as a result of that. I understood that was a major difference and major factor for us. So we had Kool-Aid. Yeah, they had Kool-Aid.
I'm just picking on you. That's just how I break. I'm just an icebreaker. That's how I do with myself. But we got it real quick. But I remember when I was in like 10th grade, we did like I think it's called world history or something like that. And I have additional research too. So I'm glad that you're teaching that coursework in high school as well, so that kids will know about, where the origin of education came from, which actually came from I think Nigeria was like the first place that had the first university, from my understanding. Is that correct? Is that that's what I learned a long time ago, because that was not taught in school back when I was in school many, many moon years ago. So do you do research like that? Is that part of your research that you actually focus on too, as far as like doing extensive research?
It is, but I'll have to look. I don't believe that Nigeria had the first universities, but you might be right.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that, and we have to think about what type of education. Now, what I'm talking about is not a white form of education. I'm talking about a form of education that we created before white people even exist, before the term university came about, like before the term education came about. Right. We was doing this naturally. But if you want to look at it in terms of formal education, that went back to ancient Egypt and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but they did have a very advanced civilization in Nigeria called the Nok civilization, NOK. And they were known for their sculptures and their educational. So then they had another big educational in the what was known as the golden age of Africa. They had, and you probably heard the term called Timbuktu.
Mhm.
Timbuktu, that was it was a place that it was by that time Islam had taken over Africa, but it was a place that everybody would go to in the Middle Ages, what's called the African Middle Ages, and it was known as the center of learning, a citadel of learning. So if you want to look at more formalized structures of education as we know today, as a university, those are some places that you could start with.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
awesome.
Dr. Mango, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll be glad. We'll have tons of questions for you next week. All right. So thank you
Okay.
so much for your time. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. And Brother Earthquake, congratulations.
Hola, thank you, sis.
All right. Take care.
All right,
Y'all take
all
care. Bye-bye.
You too. You
Thank
too.
Hola.
Hola.
Committee man Ray Ellis Jr. becomes the town's first Black deputy mayor. Hey, that's Ray Ellis Jr., aka Earthquake. Hey, my brother, how are you?
Hola to my sisters. Hello, brothers. Could be better, but I could be worse. I never complain.
All right. And meet another one of our swing sisters, and that's Tiffany Hilliard. She's on. All right. I see we've got three swings and two grooves tonight, and that's okay too. We don't
All
mind that
right.
at all. So, Brother Ellis, now being the first Black deputy mayor, how did you come about that? How long have you been in politics, and what is your message to the people?
Well, I don't have a story like down south. I grew up in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I can't complain about what I had or didn't have because we were a middle class family, and my mother was a leader in the church. She was the president of New Jersey State Ushers Association. Then she was the president of United States Ushers Association. So I had to go to church from 11 to 1, then get on a bus and go to another service somewhere. So I was in politics. My mother has always been the Eastern Star and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
I got into it because I do a lot of work. I got a book coming out on how to win an election with little money or none.
Hmm.
My opponent had 40,000. I had 7,000, and I'm the highest vote getter in this town. I won 3 school board elections, total of 9 years. I won 2 city council elections and was the highest vote getter in each election. Understand, my town has 50,000 residents.
Mhm.
10%, only 10% is Black. We have, I think, 7% Hispanic. The rest are all white. Make sure, and I tell everybody, I'm not a sellout, no Uncle Tom or no handkerchief here. Groove and black to the bone. I got some pictures on the dice when I got out the hospital back surgery. I wore my groove sweat here. you know, I wear my groove stuff at least 3 days a week. And because I'm, trying to recruit young brothers. I do a lot of volunteer work, and that's what led to success with election. I've been coaching low league football for 44 years. I also volunteer. Well, I also set up every youth program in Atlantic City and Atlantic County. I did Covenant House from New York. I brought it to Atlantic City. I did Job Connection where I teach the kids how to work. They would work half a day, go to school half a day. I also have my own program called Be For Real. Be For Real is we have great schools in my town and the curriculum is second to none. But they got mad at
Hmm.
me because I said some of our kids go to Harvard, some go to Yale, but the rest of them go to Wawa, Walmart, or jail. So they say, what do you mean? If you're not college bound, they just push you through the system. And if you're not going to college, you don't stand a chance when they push you through the system. So you wind up in the streets, Walmarts, Wawa, or jail. What I did is I started a program called Be For Real. Be For Real is you're not going to college, so let's be for real. I bring in people who have no college education. I bring in people who learn trades on their own. I bring in a landscaper used to cut grass for $20. Now he has $100-some-thousand business. I bought a guy came home from jail. He's a mechanic. He has his own shop, his own family, his own house, his own kids, all that stuff. I bought another guy from Comcast Cable, makes 6 figures, with a high school diploma. So we have to be for real in our community. And that's why I'm highlighted in the community, and the people understand where I'm coming from because I reach and teach. And that's what we don't do. I also talk about us being hypocrites, especially like the men, not only black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever. We're a bunch of hypocrites because we say these kids are out of control. And I said correct because we allow them to be out of control. When we grew up, Mr. Johnny, Mr. Joe, Mr. Jeffrey would beat us in the public, in the streets, and then tell your family. Then you got another beating. I heard a kid one time. The kid said, "Hey Ray." So I said to the kid, I said, "Do I play basketball with you?" He said, "No." "Do I play PlayStation with you?" He said, "No." "What are you talking about?" "I ain't your damn right." We gotta stop allowing these kids to be on their own because here's what happened. We climbed the ladder of success. We got a nice house. We got our cable bill paid for. We get off work, we go watch cable, we get a meal, we go to bed. Those kids are out there on the streets wandering and only learning from what they see. And what they see is not us. When we grew up in our community, they were real men. You can't find a man at the shop right now. You can't find a man at the supermarket a lot of time. We got to get back involved because Coach Powell, I went to Johnson C. Smith University. We were losing to South Carolina State. Terrible. Getting beat 82 to zip, made Sports Illustrated history game of the week. Coach Powell came in at halftime. He said, "You know what? I can't wait to die." So we looked at Coach Powell. "What do you mean you can't wait to die?" He said, "Just think if our future is going to be an effed up world." And now I listen to those words and I see what he's talking about. These
Mm.
kids have no respect. So what I do, I spend days at the recreation. I spend days on the football. I support them when they have basketball games. And that's how you win an election. Because my opponents had 40,000 and I beat them like double to nothing. And I only used 6,000. You know, and that's what I always talk to my line brothers, my groove brothers. We got to get involved because we don't get involved. You know what? I tell everybody, I don't like saying this, but it's the truth. Politicians are worse than gang members. The only difference is a dress and a suit. They
Mm-hmm.
some cold-hearted people, brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm in the mix of it. I'm the only black. I'm the first black here. My sister was the first black teacher, and now I just hired the first black female cop in my town. And it's like they some gangsters. If they want to get you, they're gonna get you. They
Right.
will tarnish your name. They will put it out there, and you. We had a mayor that was a mayor in our town for 30 years. He did one thing wrong, and they cast him away. And I mean, these guys are gangsters. These girls are treacherous. But you have to have people for real. That's why we got to get involved because we know the struggle. We got to get involved because we used to community service. We used to helping people. We used to being there for each and every one. And plus, we pledge. You know, I think Groove, my line messed up Groove on Johnson C. Smith's yard. Our purpose was to drop people instead of build
Yes.
members and stuff. That's all we want to do is be the toughest chapter in Groove. We dropped, I had 22 on my line, 11 went over. Every line for the next 5, 6 lines after me was 22 plus. And say, for example, we had 100 and probably only 8 out of the 100 went over because we were so ignorant at the fact of pledging or hazing. That's what happened. And now look at our future. It's really bad. In Jersey, groove is different because I don't deal with too many Jersey groovers. It's not like down south. I love North Carolina groovers. I was just down in Rocky Mountain last week. The other week for the dance. I went all the way down there just to dance because I love North Carolina grooves. I love groove, but these young boys now, no respect. These young boys now didn't play it. It was wrong for them beating the way they beat us, but these young boys have no respect because they pay 29.99 and they become a brother. And,
Mm.
and and it shows because of they not disciplined and they're not setting examples when they have those G's on. When we have our G's on, that's special to swing. That's special to us. When we have our G's on, we want people to see us and want to be us. We don't want people to see us and say, "Look at that fool." So what I'm trying to do is get the young folks involved in politics. I'm black. and I'm black to the bone. And I ain't changing, and I ain't kissing, I ain't sucking, I'm not doing none of that. I'm just being me. And to be successful with 50,000 residents and 10% black, and I'm here's another thing, they see my name, they don't care what party I am. They cross if they have to, they vote, they do this and do that. But we got to get involved because we can't make a change if we're not involved. And I've been able to change some things. Like I said, we never had a black police female in my department, in my town, and we have one now. And it's fire. We got. I mean, it's not a. I wouldn't say a little hillbilly redneck town. It's not that. It's just we like in the school system. My sister was first black teacher, and I have teachers trying to apply. Oh, they won't hire me. How you know they won't hire you if you don't apply? We need
That's
more, in our district, schools and police and fire and you name it. But that's what I said to my group, brother. We got to get involved in the politics. Some people, is it worth it? They'll cast you out there to dry. They'll throw you under the bus and run you over and put it in reverse. But how are we going to make a change if we sit back and just say that this one's doing this one's not doing it, and we're not doing anything?
right. I'm going to go to Sister Tiffany Hilliard. I'm sure you have some questions for our brother Earthquake.
Yes, I do. Good evening again. What my question is, where are you located?
I'm I'm in Atlantic City, New Jersey, right outside Atlantic City, 15 minutes from Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Okay, because when you said that there weren't any blacks, in certain areas, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, we outside Atlantic City, and this is like I said, there's only 10% black in this town. It's a large town. It's the largest town in Atlantic County, and yeah, it's starting to be a lot of blacks moving in. People are moving in because they're tired of Atlantic City and they want to move offshore.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're growing. We're growing.
Would you consider your town a progressive one? It seems like they really want somebody that's going to do the job. And you mentioned something very vital to me, and that is that you get out there. You've been involved in the community. They see you. They don't only show up. You're not one of these guys that only show up at election time and try to get elected. It seems like that you get involved with the children there, the community there, and things of that nature. So I think what you said, and you already answered the question, that your presence really made a difference in you getting elected. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, it's funny you used to say that. I'm going to try to go get my sweat hood. I got a logo. I got on a T-shirt. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. Super Committeeman Ray Ellis. And you're right. I don't like these little people who come out September, October for November. These guys want a title. I work with some guys that have the title and do no work. I just had a call last night, 12 o'clock at night. No, Sunday, 12 o'clock at night about a friend of mine's, the neighbor's dog pooped on his yard. Now here it is, 12 o'clock at night on a Sunday. Here it is, Monday's a holiday. And what can I do? But I still took and entertained his conversation because he matters. And that's something he doesn't normally do. So I'm here, there, everywhere for people. And, people, when you vote, that's another thing. Be careful who you vote for. Everybody's in your face September, October to get the vote for November, but where are they throughout the year? I'm at the rec center with the kids at least minimum 2 to 4 days a week watching the sports because I coach football, I coach basketball. I got to be around the kids because a lot of our men left those kids to swim for themselves. Without teaching them how to swim. I always tell a story about Miss Effie Burton. Miss Effie Burton was a usher in my church when I grew up. Miss Effie Burton had a sweet potato pie that you couldn't find nowhere in the world. Every holiday, people say, Miss Effie Burton, please make that pie. Please make that pie. Miss Effie Burton, she had great grandkids, daughters, sons, and Miss Effie Burton, none of them ever got the recipe of how to make that pie. Miss Effie Burton died, and the recipe went down with her. Now we can't get Miss Effie Burton's pie because she left and she took it with her. So what I'm trying to say is I got to tell you how to make the pie, So in case I go, you could do it on your own to help somebody else.
That's right.
So that's what we got to do. We got to stop holding on to our recipes, stop holding on to our success, stop holding on to our blessed fortune that we have lights in, like she said, and Kool-Aid, and share with others how to get it. Because I was a cop for 26 years. I didn't lock nobody up. I was like, back then, I just got cut from pro football. I went out for pro football, I got cut. So I became a police officer. I was a teacher first, but then a police officer. And I was like 275 all muscle. And I jacked those kids up. Now I would have been in jail. They said the stuff I did, I would have been in jail. But I didn't beat them like Rodney King did. I beat them like the daddy should have. And I beat that butt, and I took them home, and made them. One class I kept for 30 days after school for fighting. And that's what you do as police officer. You can't mess these kids' records up because they say when you turn 18, it's in a bottle and they throw it in the ocean. That's not true. Here you are, you make a mistake at 15 or 16 or 17 years old, and it ruins you for life when you go get a job and get your act together. So I did a program, a rehab and reentry program. I did a 16 to 21-year-old dropout program. I got dropouts. I got the article I was singing. I got dropouts off the streets and give them the GEDs and the job training. I got the casinos to allow hiring people with certain records. So that's the recipe that we have to teach each and every one of our men to open up the door and start watching Netflix. Get your butt out there because these kids need our help. It's just think about the future. They so disrespectful. I teach them common sense. Open up a door. You see a lady, you don't go in front of a lady. You hold the door till she get in there. You get your change back from the local store. Say thank you. You see somebody, say hi. You're not goofy. And that's what I do every day. And that's why I don't have to campaign because I'm out there in the community all times. And
They
I,
see you.
like I say, everybody very visible. Out of 50,000 people to be black, I'm the top. I'm the people's mayor. But that's another thing about the mayor. You have to know what you're doing. You can't all that glitter ain't gold. You know, it's more to it than I'm the public guy. I love people. I love shaking hands and kissing babies. But there's a lot of work behind the title. Funny story. When I got my new office, they gave me a big screen monitor, like a big screen TV. I told my secretary, I'm gonna have fun playing solitaire. she said, boy, if you don't get there and erase those emails, I said, I don't do emails. She said, well, you have to do your emails now. So I she opened it up for me. I had 7,356 unread emails.
Wow.
And for the past 4 years, right? So, because I tell people, I don't like email. I don't like that FaceTime text, Zulu, Zam, Zoom, boom, so I like to see you. I like to talk to you. Pick up the phone. I got a phone for anybody to call. I got the phone for anybody. I'll answer on that phone. But, that's another thing. I went to Applebee's one day, and I saw a grandfather and grandmother had 3 kids, ranging from maybe 8 to 12. Mm-hmm. The grandmother and grandfather sitting there looking dizzy, and the kids all on these little phones. They on the phones and all that. We lost communication. And that's why I don't like all this chat stuff and this and text and all that stuff. We lost communication. They sat there the whole time and not one word was said. When we grew up, you from the South, y'all from the South, when we grew up, where did we eat dinner? At the table, not in your room. When we grew up, we talked during dinner time. That was our family time. We didn't go to your room, shut the door, and watch TV or play a game. So, it's just that these modern day things, this new generation, everybody's texting. I don't answer some of the stuff, and then I'm reading my emails now. I can't stand it. I love communication. And we as brothers and sisters need to get involved, but we also got to communicate, I talk to my line brothers. Every day. Well, at least 3 days, minimum 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. Some of my group. It's not a week going by that I haven't talked to a brother or sister. And the sisters here are great.
Yeah, I really appreciate that too. And we'll have some of your line brothers on and share their experiences with us also. Let's go to Nikaya. Nikaya, I know you have a question. Did we lose Nikaya? Okay, we'll come.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Gotta take care of something. Yeah, I have a few questions. So I'm really glad, one, that you are very involved in the community and not just saying it. Especially when it comes to politics, people always say, oh yeah, I'm here for the community, I'm here to help the youth, but you don't really see them out in the rec center 3 to 4
No.
times a week. You don't see them, like you were saying, as a police officer, disciplining them like their parents should, and then taking them home safely. I commend you for that. You were also saying how you want to get the youth into politics. So what I would want to ask, how do you get them motivated into politics and leaderships and dealing with the youth? And just like as you were saying, the different generation that we're in now with the youth and with kids, what barriers did you have to break and what challenges did you come across?
Well, I'm pretty forceful and I'm pretty old school. And what happens is I kind of demand, because I want to start a mayor's youth council. I had one when I grew up, and the kids will have workshops on politics. And it's just that when you're invested in the community, the parents trust you and the kids love you and the parents love you. I don't have a problem setting that up. It's just building that trust, letting you know they're not there for the title, letting them know they're not there to get a paycheck because it's all volunteer, letting them know that, we have their best interest and want them to be a part of it. And then just getting their attention. That's all you do is get their attention. Some kids might not want to get involved, but by the time you show them the good side versus the bad side, you're all right.
That's good.
Tanisha?
So
Yeah,
basically,
okay, I got you.
can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, your motto is passing down the baton to the next generation. That's your motto, right? That's what your thought process is.
She
Correct?
broke up again.
Can you hear me okay?
Barbara,
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
bring me my
Is that-
Superman hood in the closet.
Can you hear-
Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Well, I was like, it seems like your methodology is like passing the baton to the next generation. That's what it seems like too, that you're teaching. That's your principles that you're teaching. That's what you stand behind as far as your campaigning process.
Yes.
It's down passing the knowledge to the next generation, because you're talking about that sweet potato pie, and basically it's dead. So basically you want to continue to pass it down to the next generation so it continues on and on and on and on. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. But I did have another question, because we were breaking up a little bit. When you were doing your campaigning, what type of challenges did you actually have? Did you pose any type of challenges, or was everything smooth, or what was or some aspects?
No, I don't have problems because, not saying I don't, because I'm so visible in the community and do nothing but volunteer. I don't have problems. Not brag, no brag or boast. I put the work in. You can't call out sick all week and want to get paid on Friday. So what I do is I put the work in.
I know folks like
it's all there.
Can y'all hear me?
I got my shirt here. I hope you can see it. I got my shirt, my Superman shirt. Yeah.
And that's your face on it too?
Can you see? Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you
you're
see?
sideways.
I'm
You're
Superman.
sideways.
Yeah, you're kind of sideways, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Now that's better.
Yeah.
Your Superman shirt. Oh my God.
And that was my campaign slogan. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. And that's what I do. That's why I don't have problems at election time. I don't have, one thing I don't approve of in a running mate is he tried to throw dirt. People live in glass house should throw no stones. I'm not the cleanest cut guy in the world. I don't do dirt. First of all, I don't have to, because that's another thing. When you want to get into politics, make sure you got your luggage. Make sure you have your luggage with you, and meaning that they will dig up stuff on you. If the higher you go, the more dirt that they want, the more dirt they dig up on you. So you got to be real careful when you get into politics to have your self-help clean up. Because it's like I said, I hate to describe it like this. The only difference between gang members, I don't say Bloods and Crips, is a suit and a dress. They gangsters.
That's it.
Some politicians could be notorious gangsters, and they will hurt you. to get what they want, or you don't respect them, you will respect them. It's a whole different ball game when you're on the inside than when being on the outside. It's not all the glitter and gold. It's a lot of work, and especially if you care for your community, if you care for your people, if you care to help people, it's not all what it's wrapped up to be. Some people get the title, get the check, and then we meet every other Wednesday and go to meetings. I'm not going to do that. The people know I work for them.
Mhm.
And how long is your term? I want.
That's what Groove taught me. That Pledging taught me.
How can you Earthquake? How long is your term? How long are you gonna? How long is? Can you hear me? Okay.
Now I can.
How long do you have to serve? Like you serve your term there? Because I know
3 years.
3 years. Okay, that's not bad. Okay,
That's good. 3 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You said something very interesting that you saw these children, and they were with their parents or grandparents or something, and they were at I think you said a restaurant or something, and the kids were on the phone the entire time. Now, what I'm finding that there are, and it's different from when we were growing up, there are a lot of parents out here that's gotten real lazy. And what I mean by that, they don't go to the school board meetings. They don't make sure that children do the homework. They are giving them that iPhone or whatever it is at an early age and let that phone or that computer babysit for them. Okay. And like you said, what they are learning are the things that's in the street. Would you kind of address that a little bit? Do you think the parents have gotten lazy these days growing up after you had?
Well, that's why I said that earlier. Computers are raising these kids. I had these parents are out of control too. I had a football game. Kid got mad and cussed the referee out. In my 44 years, I've never seen a kid cuss a ref out. So he's cussing the ref out. So the mother comes over there to try to calm him down. He told the mother, "Get the F off of me." And mind you, get the F off of me. He did something. So I went old school where they locked people up for the day. I snatched them up and threw them off the field. Physically threw them off the field. And the parents, like, they know me and I'm not allowed to do this. But one parent, he's like, that coach, before this even happened, that coach, he yells, he fuss, he's doing this, he mean. I said, yeah, from 6 to 8, I'm not mommy and daddy. Sit back and learn from me. These parents are so soft now. And like you say, you throw a laptop in their face, they throw a little iPad in their face, they throw a little phone in their face, and they babysit them. No communication. And, that's what I say. And I tell my young parents, my old football players, I said, sit their butts down and eat dinner together and talk. Don't let them go in their room because you got an extra bedroom. Back in our day, we all had to stay in one room. You want to watch the Jefferson? You had to be in that one room. We had one TV. That's what's wrong with this world today. They got a TV in the room. They got a got a microwave in the room. Who the heck can't walk downstairs to pop some popcorn? And we are not raising these boys and girls to be men and women because a lot of our young parents and parenting skills are just fed up. They don't, the state telling you what you can and cannot do. The state telling you can't yell at them. The state telling you can't hit them. Where was the state when we grew up? My mother used to get a switch, tell me to go pick out a switch on a tree to beat me.
I've been there.
I would go look for the biggest tree and try to crack it. As soon as you get 2 hits, next thing you know it's broke, and next thing you know here come an ironing cord or a frying pan.
Oh,
what happened to that knife is when we came up.
I know the feeling. My mom used to say, "I am not your friend. I'm not going to party with you. I'm not going to drink with you. Okay, and you are going to respect." I mean, so yeah, I had a few of those switch episodes too. Worst beating I ever had was from my grandma. She told me go out and get a switch. I went out and got a little twig. She said, "Oh, you playing now?" She broke a branch off that damn tree, man. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Same here. We must have the same grandma. Same one.
We got a few minutes left. Tiffany.
Yeah.
Tiffany, your mic is muted.
Hey, Tiff. What's up, Tiff?
Oh, she froze on us. Okay, let's go to Nikaya.
Hey, I come from the family, like I said, my family's from Mississippi, so I understand the switches, the twitches, the belts, the sandal, the Anonymous. It will be whatever is around. So I understand. Yeah. I
No,
would not have a microwave in my room, and I would definitely be eating at the dinner table promptly. So,
no, don't.
continuing on with your program, Be For Real. I think that's amazing. Because it's almost like it's reality. There's not a lot of people are gonna have the passion or desire to want to go to college, but they'll do a trading skill. What trading skills do you feel like you come across most in your program?
Well, what I'm trying to do is before, we used to go to Home Depot, pick up some Mexicans, and they cut your grass. Nowadays, you better call them off the phone on their truck because they climbed a lot of success while we're too lazy to get there. So I'm doing natural stuff like landscaping. I got a kid to do sprinklers. Who would ever thought sprinklers would make that much money? Your sprinklers go bad, you fix sprinklers, that's $200 almost, you know?
Mhm.
And I do like HVAC, let them go with somebody, be a gopher, let them learn. I do auto body. I got auto body shops, auto mechanic shops. I graduated from Johnson Smith, and I came home and built a house. And I went there. I hung up a mini blind. I called 8 people and told them I hung a mini blind up. And that's what I say. And the only reason I went to college was because I wanted to play pro football. But then when I got out of football, I taught for a while and then became a cop. I could have just went to the police department. So those trades are very crucial, like an electrician. I got a guy working Comcast cable electrician on the side. He makes just as much money with that on-side job. So I'd love for these kids to do the simple stuff. Like, back in the day, we used to get up at 6 o'clock in the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning when they said it's going to snow and shovel snow. Now old people can shovel snow and the kids walk right by them. We used to
Mhm.
just get up early to cut people's grass in the summer, get $20. So little small stuff like just starting a little the landscaping business. Get you about 5 homes that you cut constantly and you consistent with the good beautiful cuts. Get you about 5 homes that they could depend on you, and they're going to give you minimum $50 a yard. So now you
Mhm.
got five. That's what 250. So just think you're making 250 a week, or every other week. So we don't know how to do the natural hustle. We want to look at TV and get the hustle overnight. And
Mhm.
trust me, all the years about cops, I saw you told me that's why they do the cop show, the dumbest crime, the dumbest criminal, and dumb people. I
Mhm.
see some of the dumbest hustlers in the world. Trying to be slick and just so dumb. So let's teach our kids the honest hustle. And we can start with just simple things like landscaping, simple
Mhm.
things like power washing, simple things like, you know, rolling something on your driveway, selecting a blacktop in driveways, and simple things like painting, stuff that they don't have to worry about A, B, C, D, or 1+1 is 2. So let's do simple things we teach them.
Absolutely. Tiffany, are you with us now?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Uh, what question? What
Um,
last question you have? What you have? One question that you can ask. That one question that you want to ask Earthquake.
mm, if you weren't doing what you were doing right now, what would you be doing?
Robbing people, knocking them upside the head. you set that one up. No, if I wasn't doing
The
it,
gangster of
you know what?
politics.
No, you know what? What I would be doing now would be a lot easier. You don't have to work. You don't have to be concerned about people. I think I would be better off but that's just not me. If I wasn't doing this, it's not really anything else I would do. But it's a lot of work, and you don't have to do it. It's something you're blessed, and something God bless you with these skills and the ability to love and help people. So if I wasn't doing this, I may have back in the day, I may have knocked you upside the head around, stole your pocketbook. No, I wasn't no bad kid like that.
No, he wouldn't do that. Wow, we only
I
have
wouldn't do that.
well, we only have 1 minute. Earthquake, what's that one question that you wish we had asked you? If you were on the panel, what question would you have asked Earthquake?
Well, the only question, not really one question, is just let's get together and let's get more young people involved in the politics and let's teach them, show them, take the time Now that we have the Zoom boom and all that other stuff, we need to just work more with the youth to get them ready for tomorrow. Because remember the recipe. If we go today, the recipe is going with us. So that's the one thing I'm concerned
Wow.
and want to see is us getting more involved. You know, I know we have our conclave and we have a youth part of it, but you know, hey, let's do the real stuff, not get up there as people speak to pat their own self on the back. Let's teach these kids.
Hey, that's good. Earthquake, I want to thank you so much. Nakaya, Tanisha, and Tiffany, it's been a blast as usual. Earthquake, you have to come back because I know you have a lot to say and a lot to share. So I want to thank you, my brother.
I love talking about swings and my grooves. I could be all night.
Well, we will have you back. We will have you back. Okay. Well, I want to thank you again and thank our
All
panel
right,
for
sound
doing
good.
this. Another episode, epic episode of Groove Swing Speaks. And you guys have a great night. Enjoyed it as usual. Thank you so much. And share Groove Swing Speaks, not only
Bye,
with your groove, to swing,
Tanisha. Bye, Tanisha.
yeah, with your
All
community.
right.
Oh, wow.
And we need to invite
Hola.
and we need to invite more the parents to invite their children to listen to this program because someone may be
Yes,
inspired
yes.
from what's said here. So, guys, thank you so much for this. Enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll see you next Tuesday right here on the Buzz Studio W Global Radio Network, where we do this thing every Tuesday. That's 4 p.m. on the West, and that's 7 p.m. on the East.